Trade my 4x4 for a GC3, ain't no more free little Steve. I gave him chance again, I even told him please. I find it crazy the police will shoot you and know that you dead but still tell you to freeze. Look, I seen what I seen, I guess that mean hold him down if he say he can't breathe. It's too many mothers just grieving, they killing us for no reason. Been going on for too long to get even. Throw us in cages like dogs and hyenas. I went to court and they sent me to prison. My mama was crushed when they said I can't leave. First I was drunk, then I sobered up quick when I heard all that time that they gave to Talib. He got a life sentence plus. We just some products of our environment. How the f they gon' blame us? You can't fight fire with fire, I know, but at least we can turn off the flames some. Every color person ain't dumb, and all whites not racist. I be judging by the mind and heart, I ain't really in the faces. Know the way that we living is not getting better, you gotta know how to survive. Crazy, I had to tell all of my loved ones to carry a gun when they going outside. Stay in the mirror whenever you drive. Overprotective, go crazy for mine. You gotta pay attention to the sign. Seem like the blind following the blind. Thinking about everything that's going on. I boost security up in my home. I'm with my condom, they right or they wrong. I call him now, he'll pick up the phone and it's 5 in the morning. He waking up on it. Tell him wherever I'm at, then they coming. I see blue lights, I get scared and start running. That should be crazy, they supposed to protect us. Swords and handcuffs and arrest us. Why they go home at night, that's messed up. Knowing we needed help, they neglect us. One of them who gon' make them respect us. I can see in your eye that you fed up. Go around, got my shot, I won't let up. They know that we a problem together. They know that we can storm anywhere. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere, might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year, I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear. Kid, I'm going on the front line, he gon' bust your work till you come back that gun line. You know when the storm go away, then the sunshine. Got put your head in the game when it's crunch time. I want all my sons to grow up to be monsters. I want all my daughters to show out in public. Seem like we losing our country, but we gotta stand up for something, so this what it comes to. Every video I see on my conscience, I got power now, I gotta say something. Corrupted police been the problem where I'm from, but I'd be lying if I said it was all of them. I ain't do this for the trend, I don't follow them. Altercations with the law had a lot of them. People speaking for the people, I'm proud of them. Stick together, we can get it up out of them. I can't lie like I don't rap about killing and dope, but I'm telling my youngest to vote. I did what I did cause I didn't have no choice and no hope. I was forced to just jump in and go. This bullshit is all that we know, but it's time for a change. Got time to be serious, no time for no games. Ain't taking no more, let us go for them chains. God bless they soul, every one of them names. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere, might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year, I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear. They training officers, the killers, then shooting protesters with these rubber bullets. They regular people, I know that they feel us. These scars too deep, they heal us. What happened to COVID? Nobody remember, it ain't making sense. I'm just here to vent. It happened to one of your people, it's different. We get it, the system is wicked, just learn how to pick it. Knowledge is power, I swear I'm a witness. I know that I'm gifted, I won't go too deep, cause I'm scared they'll get me. Ain't scared to admit it, something I can't mention. It's people who can. Well, here's the chance, I won't take the stand, but I'll take a stand for what I believe. Must not be breathing the air that I breathe. You know that the way that I bleed, you can breathe. I never been a fan of police, but my neighborhood know I try to keep peace, so it's only right that I get in the streets. March for a reason, not just on GP. How people die for us to be free. What do you mean? This was a dream. Now we got the power that we need to have. They don't want us with it, and that's why they mad. Yeah. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere, might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year, I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere, might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year, I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear.
Take it from the top. 1, 2. My mic sound nice. Check 1. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Are you ready to rock, y'all? Until the beat, y'all. I keep on and you don't stop.
Hey everybody, today is Saturday, and it's not just any Saturday. It is a national federal holiday. It's Juneteenth.
Girl, I thought you were gonna cuss.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, and that is what it is.
Happy Juneteenth.
I don't know if I should feel happy about that or not, because I saw a meme that I sent to Moran that I thought was pretty fitting.
Yeah.
And if I can find it really quickly, it was basically a child who was
walking
stepping over multiple steps, but on each step it would have different things that are being overlooked when it comes to black people. And so some of the things that were on those steps, let's see how long it takes me to find this thing. But apparently I send a lot of stuff to Moran. But so the first step is talking about race in school, which I think is that whole critical race theory thing that people are talking about. Voting rights, stop police violence, reparations, and it just goes right. His foot is right on the step where it says making Juneteenth the national holiday. So, there's still other things to talk about. I guess I'm happy about Juneteenth being a national holiday. It doesn't affect me because my boss doesn't like to give us days off, so everybody else gets to have the day off. So I guess that's good for them.
And I couldn't discriminate and only give. If I gave African Americans,
oh yeah, you would never want to do that.
Yeah. Juneteenth only affects them.
Because it's a national holiday, so everybody gets off no matter what. But I guess it is what it is. It almost seems to me like that whole Black Lives Matter that they put on the street in DC, like, is more for show than anything. And I mean, in a certain point, I get it. It's like, yeah, we should try to celebrate even the small victories, and I think that was, in part a way to kind of celebrate that. Like, I don't.
But we need legislation.
We didn't get any bills signed or anything like that, but it was the fact that BLM and supporters were out there trying to protest and blah, 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 and the mayor of D.C. felt the need to do that. I mean, it was cool, it was what it was, but of course it didn't change anything.
And I think what's going to happen is that the next time we have a problem, they're going to say, well, we gave you guys a holiday. I think that's what's going to happen.
I mean, I don't even know why they would say that, because that's the stupidest thing ever. I'm sorry, I didn't even go over the beginning credits, so let me do that. So we are on She's the Boss Radio, of course. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week radio station. It focuses on topics to build, strengthen, and inspire, as well as motivate men, women, and youth from the home to the conference room and around our community. I'm Sigourney.
I'm Iran.
And we are Deplorable Rhetoric, and we want to thank you again for tuning into the show. You can always call in at 443-272-5922 and give us your comments or questions. You can go to she'sthebossradio.com, click the V Lounge tab in the upper right-hand corner, and you can talk to us in real time that way if you don't want to call in. You can also go to tunein.com, shoutcast, or tell Alexa or Siri to play She's the Boss Radio. She's the Boss Radio on Facebook, She's the Boss Radio on Twitter, WSTBRN on IG, and WSTBR on Twitch and Tumblr. And as usual, I'll give our stuff at the end. But yes, thank you for joining us today on this wonderful Saturday. But yeah, getting back to Juneteenth. I mean, like I said, it's cool. It is what it is. It's nice that something like that is recognized, but I think we need to continue to recognize that we still have a ways to go with some things that need to be set in place. Like Ron was saying, policies need to be put in place to help move things along. And we're still waiting. I don't know the technical name of it, but the George Floyd bill. We're still waiting on that to be signed. I haven't seen any updates. Last thing I saw was that they were waiting on police cooperation or something.
Police are not going to cooperate. Portland, Oregon's police officers for the riot squad just resigned. A bunch of them just resigned because one of their cohorts was indicted.
And so you think they're going to go down, or they're embarrassed to him, so they left?
No, they support him and they left.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, because I didn't read about that. So
yeah.
All right.
See, I work from home.
There you go. I mean,
actually work.
And the cops support cops. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, people should support their own within their field. But again, if you know that a particular cop didn't do something right, good people do bad things sometimes. So we understand that. But there's also just bad cops out there who in turn are bad people,
right?
And those are the people who need to be looked at more. And if you're supporting those type of people, then if something happens to you and you get indicted or whatever,
because I was shocked that Derek Chauvin's bosses stood up against him.
Yeah, because again, police protect police, but
but that was the big crack in the great blue wall of silence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So hopefully,
and they were all black, or most of them were black, weren't they?
Black and white.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. The ones I seen were black.
Oh, okay. There was the head was white, but the thing is, like he said, we don't teach that. I don't know where you got that from.
Right.
But the thing is, like, if we can break or just crack it to the point where as though people are not scared to cross the blue line.
Right. Because just because you disagree with them doesn't mean that you're against them.
Exactly.
I'm not against the police. I'm just against bad cops.
Yeah.
Killing people for no reason. Like, that's what I'm against. I'm against anybody killing somebody for no reason. It's not just because of cops, but cops have to understand that, yeah, there was a time where you guys were seen as being the people we were supposed to run to and the people we did. And even now, you still have black families calling in saying, hey, we need help. And then you come and shoot their kid. And it didn't happen to just black families. There was a white family. The son was having, I think he had autism or something, and he was having an episode. And they came and shot him. I think he survived. Hopefully he did. But
see,
you
this
know,
is
it's
the thing
just
we need
crazy.
to stop doing. We need for everything doesn't need to go to 911.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what they're trying to work on now. They need
But
to hurry
it's
up.
always been 311, 211. They've always been available as long as I can remember.
But see, I didn't know about those things. So
Okay.
I mean, I heard about them for different reasons. Like if you need resources, call 211. They'll
Right.
help you with
When you
resources.
call 211
But,
and you tell them what's going on, they in turn tell you exactly who to call and what to do next.
Yeah, and I get that, but that can take too long. So
Okay, so you
it's
want a quick
fine.
response, your family's dead. That's how I see it.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is, I don't. If you're gonna call the cops, then you need to make sure that you have social workers within the precinct, like New York is doing, like Texas is doing, like all these states are doing, so that you get the details and you say, okay, this is not a cop situation, it's a social worker situation. Let them go out. I think that's gonna be much faster than, okay, I'm calling 211. Now you gotta look some stuff up. Now you gotta give me the number, and I gotta call that. There has to be something quicker, because when people are going through certain episodes, especially people with mental health issues, time is of the essence.
True.
You don't have time. Like the lady we just got through talking about, the one that rushed the White House when Obama was in office. She was going through an episode. Unfortunately, she got killed because of her mental health disorder. And that's just what happened. I mean, I get why they perceived her as dangerous and all that stuff, but the same thing is, like you said, the guy who actually shot her, now he feels some kind of way because he probably found out that she was going through something. Not only that, her kid was in the back.
Right.
So he could have killed the kid too, possibly. I don't know what angle he was at and where the kid was at, and he might not have been the only one shooting.
No.
He just happened to be his bullet that killed her. So there's too much to all of this. And we are trained social workers. Don't worry about us getting hurt. We wouldn't have signed up for this if we weren't prepared to go out there and handle
help.
someone. What do you think they do in crisis when they're in the psychiatric ward or any other place where there's a crisis? We have crisis trainings for social workers. We are trained to do that. Cops are not. Cops are trained to respond to a situation where there might be a weapon involved, maybe not. But it just seems all combat. It just seems all like, I gotta fight. Like cops feel like they gotta fight to save their life. But usually there's no threat, you know?
Yeah, and then the thing is, like,
sometimes there is, of course.
But the thing is, like, okay, yes, therapists are trained for trauma.
Not just therapists, social workers.
A social worker, sorry. Got to clarify that. But the police are trained to maneuver through things. They are trained to shoot.
Yeah,
They're trained to
react.
do all of that. But social workers are
Let's do what
better
we're trained for.
equipped.
Right.
I think social workers are better equipped to handle some of these crises.
And
Not all, but some of these.
LCPCs, the professional counselors as well. And I mean, I'm sure there might be other certification programs out there where you can get crisis, you know, training and stuff like that. So all those people should be the ones answering these calls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or substance abuse counselors should be out there, the ADTs.
If the drugs are involved, yeah.
Yeah, because I know driving down, what was it? Dundalk Avenue and Ponca? No, is that Ponca? Where is Jimmy's Seafood?
No, it's Hollywood.
Hollywood. I'm crossing that and I saw a guy standing up and then he fell down, and there's a rehab center up the street. They came with Narcan.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm afraid of with this Narcan thing is that people think that they could use more as long as there's somebody around with Narcan. Oh, it's going to
take that risk. Who's always going to be around?
Right.
Like there's people I know that have taken certain things and, you know, fentanyl, whatever it is. And
Narcan can bring you back from everything.
Yeah. And not only that, and it depends on how far gone you are. Like, I'm sure there's a certain line that once you cross it, it's too late to come back. I mean, I would imagine.
A certain amount of time without any brain function or oxygen.
And I just read a lady died in her car. She OD'd. No. What happened? I think her and the child were in the car. Because she OD'd and died, the child starved to death, the baby.
Are you serious?
So, you can't always be saved. You know? And then what you do affects other people.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get to our updates here. But happy Juneteenth, everybody.
We started with that.
So
Okay.
yeah, I know we started with that, and of course went to something else. But so let's start with COVID. We'll start local, and so this I believe was 4 days ago, June. Oh, this was a while ago. Why do I have this on here? Yeah, so we already talked about Scott and what he said as far as people keeping their masks on, so I'm not even sure why I looked at that. But anyway, so let's talk about the states. This was as of the 15th. So Maryland to lift most COVID restrictions, including mask requirements, on July 1st, as statewide, case numbers decline. So Hogan's saying, you know what? It's time, y'all. It's time. Of course, people like Brandon Scott, the mayor of Baltimore, is like, nah, not really. But he's saying after 15 months, and in those 15 months, 9,500 people have died in Maryland. But he's saying, you know what, numbers are going down. It's been a long time. People need to get back to work. People need to go back to school. People need to do this and that. So let's open up. So he announced on Tuesday, which, yeah, would have been, I guess, last Tuesday, that lifting in just over 2 weeks of most statewide restrictions and orders related to the pandemic. The state's mask order, which requires face coverings indoors at schools, daycare centers, medical settings, and on mass transit, will expire the same day. A federal order requiring masks on planes, subways, buses, and other mass transit remains in effect. Hogan said businesses can set their own rules again on masking. We've heard that. So while most of the state's rules and orders will end July 1st, the state of emergency, first issued on March 5th, 2020, won't legally expire until August 15th, according to the governor's office. So why not make the date August 15th then, just to match it all up? But during the 45-day grace period, certain rules and regulations will continue to be relaxed, such as requirements for renewing expired driver's license. A moratorium on evictions will run through August 15th as well. But all that's well and good, but like, especially the moratorium, first of all, you're stopping unemployment benefits. A lot of people are going to be hurt by that. So how are they going to pay rent? Because some people don't have jobs yet. But anyway, we don't have time to talk about that. So
That's a whole different...
Right. So while the end of the state of emergency is an important step in our recovery from COVID-19, it does not mean that this virus and the variants no longer pose any threat. If you have been vaccinated, you are safe. Not really, because you can still catch it, but anyway. But those who are not vaccinated will continue to be at risk, the Republican governor said, adding, there's no excuse to not get vaccinated. I mean, come on. They're giving away weed and beer, so,
Not here.
What do you mean? Oh,
They're
Maryland?
Maryland ain't giving out weed or beer.
Well, I'm just saying, in general, Biden is providing that, and Hogan was providing something. I think it was beer.
$40,000. They're going to have a lottery or some bull crap.
So vaccines are available, and they are safe, Hogan said. So there you go. That is that, I suppose. July 1st, we'll see what mayhem this all causes. But there was one thing that funny enough, I haven't seen a whole lot of news on.
What's that?
But that new variant.
Delta?
Yeah, the Delta variant. Like even doing this COVID trending on Twitter for Maryland, you see that there was a Friday's Vax Cash winner from Annapolis. You see that more than 90% of Marylanders aged 65 and older have now received the COVID vaccine. 15 states have reached President Biden's goal to vaccinate 70% of adults with at least one dose of COVID vaccine, and Maryland is one of them, like I was just saying. And of course, lifting a bunch of mandates July 1st. It's just stuff like that. But there is a new variant, like you just said, and it has already been reported that it's here. And I think in Maryland, to be honest.
And it's causing UK to shut down again.
Yeah, and they were already battling the UK variant, and now, and this one I believe came from India, right?
Right.
Yeah. So India, I mean, we've reported before that India's going through a lot when it comes to the vaccines, and hopefully the ones that the U.S. and other places have sent are coming. Well,
now
handy.
They're saying the third wave of COVID-19 is going to hit India in October.
Oh, India? Oh, I thought you meant the U.S. Okay.
Yeah,
so
India is going to be hit in October.
Okay, yeah. All right, guys, we do need to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, that's the sound of today's business community. It's a dog-eat-dog world and only the strong survive. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing business environment to put your business in the forefront. So how does your business keep up with the changes? That's where She's the Boss Network comes in. She's the Boss Network is an internet media network that's been helping businesses like yours get the exposure that you're looking for at reasonable cost by way of radio and video. They'll help you stay successful by navigating change and seeing the big picture. After She's the Boss Network analyzes your business and marketing strategies, you'll start to see a media presence like you've never seen in your business before. And She's the Boss Network doesn't stop there. They use their findings to create a practical plan of action, a plan that will get your business from where you are to where you need to be. There you go. Lock those dogs up for good by giving She's the Boss Network a call at 866-494-5945, extension 101, or by checking their website at she'sthebossradio.com. Again, that's 866-494-5945, extension 101, or she'sthebossradio.com.
You're going to have to ask Mike that question. All right, guys. We are back. Sorry, still chewing. Okay. So yeah, speaking about the new variant, it seems to be a few things I actually have seen about it, which again, it's kind of weird that there's not more news out there, or maybe I'm just missing it. But yeah, it seems to be pretty bad, y'all. So, do your due diligence. Like I said, I believe it's here in the U.S. I'm vaccinated, but in certain places I still wear the mask because I don't know who else is vaccinated. And you can still catch the virus, even though you're
if you're
vaccinated.
fully vaccinated, you can still catch it.
I mean, people have been catching it. So I don't know why people don't understand that. But someone here said on June 10th that the health department is putting out texts to residents encouraging them to get vaccinated.
I mean, you can text them all.
Right.
The incentives, and that's the thing with people, is like they got to have an incentive. Living is my incentive.
Yeah.
Not killing my neighbors, my family, my friends is an incentive.
It's funny you say that because I happened to see like a headline of a news article that a guy who, I think because he caught COVID, he had to end up getting something about his lungs, I think a transplant, and he said, I wish I got vaccinated.
Oh, wow.
Now, even if he got vaccinated and somehow caught it, I don't know if it would have been as bad, because from what I'm, from things that you read, people who catch it and are vaccinated still, like even Bill Maher, he said he felt
he couldn't taste anything.
Oh yeah, he lost his taste for a couple of days and it came back.
Right.
But I mean, that was typical of people who weren't vaccinated before when they caught it. However, the thing is that people who
the antibodies are fighting. Yeah.
Well, the symptoms from COVID are affecting people who aren't vaccinated, and so they end up having issues with their lungs and all this other stuff even after the virus is gone. But people are going to do what they want to do. So, here, June 2nd, from the CDC, teachers, staff, and students should continue practicing COVID-19 precautions in school for the rest of the year, even if they're fully vaccinated. I mean, I agree with that, especially since you want to force them back in school anyway. But, yeah. So, one thing I did see when it comes to young people and this vaccine, myocarditis. The news about a potential, this was from CNN, the news about a potential link between the COVID vaccine and a cardiac ailment in young people is causing fear. Excuse me. COVID should scare you more, a whole lot more than the vaccine, to pediatric cardiologists say. While myocarditis is relatively uncommon, it does happen to young people, and we mean long before the COVID vaccine ever came along. In the vast majority of these post-vaccination cases, patients have had a full recovery. So the little caption says myocarditis, which some patients have contracted after vaccination, sounds scary, but there are mild versions of it. In almost all cases among vaccinated young people, 16 to 24, the symptoms have gone away quickly. COVID-19, on the other hand, can be a long illness, or it can kill a young person, and it has already killed thousands of them. So this is the difference. This is why people are saying get vaccinated, so you have a better chance of surviving all the crazy. It's not just even about COVID, it's all the other things that happen along with it. But there is simply no comparison between the two, says the two pediatric cardiologists. So keep those things in mind. Everybody, kept saying that, young people this and young people that, but we found that once all the older people and when
We're
they
gonna
started
live
doing the
longer
different
than these
phases,
kids.
when they started doing the different phases, they were noticing that all the young people were getting
Sicker,
affected, but
yeah.
that's because everybody else is getting the vaccination and they weren't. So now all of a sudden more kids are dying and everybody's like, well, I don't understand. Kids can't get it. That's what Trump said. Well, Trump's an idiot, so why would you even listen to him?
Let me tell you, Generation X is going to outlive the millennials at this rate.
Not me. I'm an older millennial, so I'm basically Gen X.
We're smarter than y'all. Just go ahead and get this
I'm
vaccine.
an old millennial. I'm right there on the cusp. So
There
I'm
you
all
go.
right.
There you go. Go with that.
No, it's the truth though. I am. I'm
Okay.
on the cusp. I'm an old millennial, so that's why I still
Yeah.
prefer paperback books versus electronic. I'm old school with some of that stuff. But
I have a cousin that's not. She's a Gen X, but she would do an audio book in a heartbeat.
yeah, I mean even that, but
Yeah. But I
just
I
the
want
feel of the
everybody to
book.
get vaccinated because at the end of the day, I said I wasn't going to get it to 2024, but after reading everything,
it's just not worth it.
it's not even worth it.
And I know plenty of people, black people, who still won't get it, and that's their choice. At this point, it's whatever.
Yeah.
If you catch it and something happens, I'll comfort you best as I can, but I won't really feel bad for you because you should have known better. And the thing is, a lot of people aren't even reading into this stuff.
No,
they
they're
just
going
hear
by
what they
hearing.
want to hear,
Exactly.
or whatever. And
Yeah. If it fits my agenda and how I perceive things or whatever, stop listening to people like Tucker Carlson because he's already vaccinated.
Yeah, trust and
Hannity.
believe all of them.
Yeah,
as soon as they
Hannity
could.
is. Trump was the first one to get vaccinated.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? When he went to Walter Reed, he didn't go
all that
there.
crap he was talking.
Yeah, he's
About it.
vaccinated. His whole family's
It's gonna be gone
vaccinated.
in 2 days. It's gonna be fine.
He
Like,
is
all this
vaccinated.
stuff.
His family's vaccinated. And if
Yeah.
you're listening to him and not getting vaccinated because of what he's saying out his mouth,
Yeah.
then you stupid. Because look at his actions.
idiot.
His fat, wobbly ass has gone and gotten vaccinated. It was a
Yeah.
lot of vaccine to cover that whole fat ass body. But
Yeah, he gets
he's
the same amount as
vaccinated.
everybody else.
I know.
If
But
it
he's still
doesn't-
fat
If it doesn't
ass.
work as well, hey, then it doesn't work.
I'm-
Oh, talking about that, I just saw yesterday. What was it? It was 900 something. I think it was just 900. 900 expired vaccines got pushed out to people in New York. So, are they fully covered? They gotta go back and get more? Like, what's gonna happen with
Girl.
that? Oh, and also the plant in Baltimore keeps messing up. I mentioned that to you like a week ago. Besides all
Wasn't
like
that
the
Johnson
gross,
and Johnson plant?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whichever.
Yeah.
I think it is. So, besides, them not keeping the space clean and stuff, it's just not looking good, and it's sad because Baltimore needs something positive.
And that's why I'm saying,
every time
like,
they're in the news, it's bad.
yeah, because when the staff in our office said that he's not coming back in the office more than 1 day a week until the vaccination level is at a 50%. And I'm thinking to myself, like,
Oh, it is now. Yeah, it's at
I still-
55.
yeah, I still don't believe those numbers.
Well, I mean, that's what he's gonna go off of. So
right. But
everybody's
that's
gotta
like
go
I
off of
told him, I
something.
was like, hey, come back in the office 2-3 times a week, knock yourself out.
Right.
Me personally, I see you when I see you.
Yeah. So a week ago it was at 55. So I know Brandon is trying to wait till 65. So it should be there. I mean, if the pace is still the same as far as them administering it, it should be at 65 by now. Or
But
close
is
to
it
so.
Marylanders that are getting, Baltimore City residents that are
Yeah, we
getting
talked about
vaccinated?
that.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's
it's-
how I'm sitting here thinking, like,
But
okay,
they
that's
don't even got time for all that. They're not going to break it down that deep. They're just saying
I
saying
would.
Marylanders. They're saying 65% of Marylanders. So if people outside are getting it, hopefully they're not counting them. But and I mean, we have to show ID and all that stuff when we get it, so they see your address. They know that you don't live in Maryland. So what they do after that, who knows? Maybe they are allowing people from PA and stuff to get, because they work in a hospital here.
yeah.
But they're just gonna go off the numbers, and so it is what it is. Once they reach 65, then Scott will finally lift the mandate for the mask.
I just hope, everybody gets their vaccine and stays healthy. Because Baltimore
Yeah.
loses 350 to 400, if not more, people a year. We don't need no more. Come on now.
Yeah. So China kicking our ass in more ways than one.
Yeah.
They have administered 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccine, a scale and speed unrivaled by any other country in the world.
I'm not surprised.
So yes, you read that right. This is what CNN actually said. Yes, you read that right. As of Wednesday, China had administered more than 945 million doses, 3 times the number delivered in the U.S., and almost 40% of the 2.5 billion shots given globally. On Tuesday alone, China administered more than 20 million doses.
Just,
So once they partner up with Russia and come over here and beat our ass,
yeah. We're done.
So that's
yeah,
about to
what I was
happen.
reading earlier was that China is actually partnering up with Russia and offering Russia base on Mars.
Speaking of outer space, there's a petition for
Oh,
Bezos
yeah.
to keep his butt out there. So that's hilarious.
If he leaves
People are actually signing it.
the solar system, he's going to have to stay
Yep,
outside
people
the
want
solar
him to
system.
stay out there. They do. But yeah, I mean, China and Russia were already trying to get together. I reported a few weeks ago to administer shots to people because they needed them. Yeah, they're about to become the powerhouse of this world.
They already
in the US.
are, though,
Yeah,
because they've
true.
been
Because we
helping-
borrow money from them anyway, from China.
Oh yeah, from China all the time.
Yeah.
But if you look in Africa, China's been assisting Africa in growth.
Yeah. And so, you can talk about dictatorships all you want, but they're doing a little better than us, I guess, right now. People are getting vaccinated, but I also think the Chinese have a different understanding of this virus and stuff than we do.
Yeah.
I'm sure with the type of food that they eat, the type of animals they eat, these little outbreaks may happen.
Okay.
And so they may
Gotcha.
think, okay, well, mask up, do all this
I
stuff.
didn't know where you were going in the beginning, but I was like, okay,
Okay.
whatever animals they eat,
So they probably just have a better grasp on
the variants,
on what's
and-
going on. Not even the variants, just when it first came out. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times when I would see people wearing masks, they, were
Yeah.
Asian, so they already, I think, are used to this. They already know what they need to be doing. It's America that needs to catch up. They're the ones behind.
Because that used to
So-
freak me out. Like, what are they covering up for? Like, what are they
'Cause they
keeping?
could be sick.
Yeah.
So it's not even about what's on the outside. It's just that they could be going through something. I mean,
Right.
it could be something as simple as a cold. Just put on a mask so you don't spread it. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why, all these people here in America crying about they can't breathe with the mask on. Like, I'm sure, yeah, for some of you, it's going to be more difficult for those with, severe asthma or something like that. But for most of you guys, whatever.
You'll be all right. Suck it up.
But, right. So this is a fun fact. Another one from CNN. Sperm count and
Oh.
quality did not drop in healthy young men after receiving a first or second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. So apparently people thought that their sperm would be affected by this. This is true. We now have evidence that should reassure you that the risk of immunization compromising your sperm count is extremely low, said Dr. David Cohen. He's co-medical director of the Institute for Human Reproduction in Chicago. So some men have been hesitant to get the vaccine due to concerns spread on social media, which I haven't heard this one, but that the vaccine may harm fertility. But a new study published Thursday in JAMA, whatever that is. JAMA, found, I'm sure it's the Journal of American Medical, so something.
There we go.
Probably, found sperm count and quality did not drop. We found new changes in sperm parameters in the young healthy men that we studied who received both doses of mRNA vaccine, said study author Dr. Ramasamy, director of male reproduction medicine and surgery at the University of Miami Health System. So, guys, go get the vaccine and shut up. So we'll be back after this commercial break.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. The hate be so real, the love be fake. Be bumping they gums and bumping my tape. Don't go against me, they ask for my help. Go get out your feelings and get it yourself. Might got the same shoes, but you ain't gon' step. That that you just put out, you could've kept. Yup, she got a he got a shirt. Why? You can't compete when you can't compare. Here. She ate the through my underwear. Got up and got herself out of there. I see they put me on memes and things. Don't speak on my life without knowing the real. 8 figures a year, what it cost me to live. Don't hold it, just say what you feel. But watch your mouth before I fly at your to a place that she didn't know exist. Mediterranean water my wrist. Keeping on piss how I'm talking my 6-figure check for a show, man, I'm lit. Let's celebrate, now my bag legit. These with me with whatever I'm with. Didn't know who did it, got everybody hit. I don't like I don't like I don't like nobody. We can get gangster, we can keep it cordial. How you wanna go back? How you wanna do it? I don't backtrack, man. That I don't miss nobody. I don't miss nothing. Left it on scene, I ain't right back. I don't trust nobody. Period. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. These will cry and be lying in your face. Fact. Slicker than us, gotta know how they play. If the money went straight, you wouldn't be here today. Ain't in mind, sure know what to say. You ain't me, so it's hard to relate. What? How much cash I off every day? Big bag. Don't play with me, baby, go play with your. You see him in person, he be shookin'. $100, it cost you a Quavo to book me. I'm worth it, the proof in the pudding. Surrounded by forearms. I'm looking like William, but they ain't my girlfriends. Nah. Bro, I'ma spin on your block back to back when they finish. It look like the world end. Dog. I ain't asked for it, they did it to me. What? Disposing their hands for free. Get caught in the middle, that's bullseye. Get it too. You got hit, but we were targeting heat. Popping my with a capital P. Caps. SRT, red eye, red key. Might be ugly, but my pressure. She ain't even sneeze, but still I bless her. I don't like nobody. We can get gangster, we can keep it cordial. How you wanna go back? How you wanna do it? I don't backtrack, man. That I don't miss nobody. I don't miss nothing. Left it on scene, I ain't right back. I don't trust nobody. Period. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line.
All right, guys. So just to kind of wrap this COVID business up, one thing that's kind of, I think, COVID related, I saw Washington Post put up on Instagram, worker shortages are hitting a few industries disproportionately. And I thought it was relevant only because COVID really has shifted the way people feel and think about their jobs. I mean, I just saw the post. Now, mind you, this could have been like an old picture that someone just brought up, but if it is recent, I believe it's recent. I say she, but I don't know who it was. They put up a sign. I think they worked at a McDonald's or something. They just put up the sign like, "We're closed due to me quitting," basically is what she said. Or he said. So people are just like, screw it. Like, we've been working from home for 6 months, a year and a half. Like, my brother's been home since February of last year. I think my friend, February of last year or March. So they've been working from home for a long time. And a lot of people are like, well, it's working. Why go back into the office?
Which, that's my whole point. It's like, okay,
the
certain industries.
Money, rental money,
Yeah.
Good.
We do
you don't
have
to pay the electric,
No, I don't have
keep
to.
everybody at home. You know what I'm saying?
Luckily, I don't have to pay the electric.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm paying rent
Well,
on
I'm just
2
saying
properties.
I'm just saying businesses in general. Like,
Yeah.
Depending on how your company functions, if you guys don't have to go into the office, that's money that the company could be saving.
Right, and the thing is that
I guess you still
the
need an
partners,
address.
we don't have to go in the office unless we're dropping off bus passes, gift cards, and stuff like that. But the rest of the time, the partners shouldn't even be in the office. That's what I'm saying.
I feel as an owner, but
Yeah, I mean, 11 years of us, boggling and trying to get things done by us being in the office and being, out seeing clients. I'm going to sit back. You need me, holla, call me. Not all of you have my phone number.
Right.
It's for a reason. Right.
But,
our main topic.
What?
No, go ahead.
So, the United States saw a record 9.3 million job openings in April, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Coincidentally, 9.3 million Americans were unemployed as of May, a separate BLS release showed.
I have
So why is this so exact? Okay, so now we see a record of 9. Okay, anyway, the ratio of about 1 job opening for every unemployed worker is only slightly higher in the United States than the United States saw in the super tight labor market of 2019. Although the job market is heating up, there's not a broad national worker shortage. No, there's not. There's just people who don't want to work, or people who maybe no longer can work. Instead, certain sector of the economy, particularly in manufacturing sectors, employers are struggling to find enough employees despite seeing record paychecks for non-managerial employees. To find niche industries where workers are truly in short supply, the Washington Post analyzed federal wage and employment data for hundreds of narrow industries within some of the tightest sectors and found those where employers paid higher wages but didn't attract new workers. So they're saying that there are a few industries that are desperate for workers, one of them being sawmills. Spending more time at home, the home building and remodel market soared. Of course, like I was going to Lowe's a lot with my mom and Home Depot because she was fixing up her house and people were there. they had nothing but time on their hands now. But they were sending lumber prices and sawmill profit margins up, but to convert enough timber to meet demand, sawmills need more workers.
Right.
Textile mills, the crippling worker shortage that have erupted across American manufacturing hit the textile industry early. The number of job openings per manufacturing worker in April was almost doubled pre-pandemic levels, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Specialized long-haul truckers, now they make some money too, but you got to be willing to drive for long hours, and I can't do it. Some argue that rather than a worker shortage, the trucking industry is facing a turnover crisis. Hundreds of thousands of new commercial drivers licenses are issued every year, but entry-level trucking jobs can be brutal, and few of those workers stick around. Movers, as the housing markets heat up, like I don't know how people have the money to renovate houses or to even buy them, but people have been buying up houses, it seems. As the housing market heats up and millions of Americans opt to move, whether it be to an outer ring suburb or remote exurb, I've never heard of that, or an increasingly affordable urban rental unit, movers are caught in the middle. Competition for movers has become so acute that pay for non-managerial workers rose almost 14% in 2021 to $745 a week. And then the last one they have here is veterinarians. Interest in pet adoption hit a record in April 2020, and all those animals will be back in the pound or the shelter in a couple months if they're not already. Because people, once they get busy, they no longer want to deal with the animals and just get rid of them.
I want a puppy.
But it hit records in April 2020 at the height of the shutdown. According to Google Trends, veterinarians have scrambled to keep up with the demand. Employment in the category, including veterinarians, remains down about 20,000 from its pre-recession high. So, you know, if you want to work in those type of industries, there's definitely jobs to be had. I mean, just driving around the Baltimore County and Baltimore City, I see for hire signs all over the place. So, you know, people saying they can't find work just aren't necessarily looking in the right spots. And sometimes it can be hard if you don't have that transportation or, you know, just kind of the know-how to navigate all of that to figure out who's hiring and stuff. I mean, really, you could just start calling stores like, hey, y'all need somebody. Like, if you're that desperate, you know.
I mean, we've hired people, and I think I've voiced my opinion on this before. We've attempted to hire people. We've given them the contract and the offer letter. They've accepted. And then when they realize what the work is, basically the work is you stay your ass at home and video chat the clients and come in the office once a week. Right. They don't want to do that.
What do they want to do? Come in the office?
They don't want to come in the office at all. But you knew that was the job in the beginning.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have taken the job.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff makes no sense, especially if a company does lay out everything that, you know, is going to be going on. You can't say you didn't know. Like, yeah, you may have forgotten. Because, I mean, if something's mentioned once and then you guys move on from it.
No, you met me in the office.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, yes, you may say over the phone or whatever when you initially talk to them, like, yeah, you got to come in once. But if you start talking about other things, they may forget that. And then when they realize it again, like, oh, yeah, I got to be in the office once a week. I don't want to do that. Well, whatever. Then I guess you don't get the job. So, but we have a pretty good main story that I saw. I didn't read it, but Miran did, so she's gonna talk about it.
So Marilyn Mosby, if anybody knows who Marilyn Mosby is, she is the youngest. What is she, a district attorney? Mm-hmm. Of Baltimore since 2015. Now, I still have respect for her. I don't care what people think, but I still have respect for her. I feel like she's a strong state's attorney, but there's a lot of red flags with her right now. She's being federally investigated for her mortgage and
the liens
right on her husband.
Places in Florida.
And then she took 140 days out of the office.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff she did sounds suspect.
Yeah, she is publicly fought with the Baltimore City Inspector General who investigated Ms. Mosby's excessive traveling. She's fought with Governor Hogan about her unsuccessful crime-fighting strategies. She's currently under federal investigation and has had numerous questions raised about her personal mortgage documents, businesses, IRS tax liens, campaign finances, and her office was recently raided. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for her.
It's not looking good for her, especially when she made us excited that she was for the people and she wasn't going to trample on the citizens like they have been. You know what I'm saying? I believe her when she said that she would rather go after these crimes that are affecting us for decades and decades.
Right.
We should
she has let out some people for the small, like marijuana charges.
Low level non-violent offenders, yeah. But my thing is
There's a
this.
few.
Yeah. So my thing is this. You're doing all these great things, but your personal is what's making you like overshadowing everything positive you've ever done. That kills me. It's like, I know you can't be perfect all the way across the board, but come on, nothing illegal. That's what you do. You're the state's attorney.
Right.
You should know the rules. You should know the laws. And yeah, my girl getting investigated all kinds of ways. And then the whole thing with her sticking her middle finger out on a citizen. Yes, that says something. She had her office lie and say no, she didn't.
Yeah,
they have footage.
At first, I was gonna argue. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it like days ago, a week ago. The first one I saw, it was hard to tell, but then however way they got a clearer picture, and yeah, it was her middle finger.
That's the thing, Baltimore.
She said she just felt like the guy was kind of under attack. I don't think she really realized what was happening. This guy just came behind a bike and he yelled "Free Keith Davis," I think is his name, and she just. But if you feel attacked and stuff, like that's not the response. That's very much like a hood response. Like somebody rolling by yelling at you, you just throw up the middle finger. That's not a response that a district attorney should have. But and I need to read more into this Keith Davis thing. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. So I mean, with all that said, I mean her first reaction. She's from Massachusetts. She's here in Baltimore, and she was an idealist, but corruption
doesn't look good on you.
Doesn't look good on her at all. And I'm not saying that she's corrupt, because I don't think she's done anything other than. And they keep talking about her numbers ever since she implemented the what was it, the crime, like her deal with the crime, trying to. Hold on, what is it? Where is it? Okay. So Miss Mosby claimed that the goal was to end a war on drug users. That was it. The war on drug users, not sellers, but users. But after she implemented that, the rate of deaths, overdoses went up 12%. And things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make excuses for her. But it's like, okay, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah. So it went from 851 deaths in 2019 to 954 in 2020.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, too, that people have to factor in is that, when you're addicted to drugs and you're clean, even if it's for 20 years, the pandemic really did a number on people. A lot of people had a quarantine, and I mean, of course, some people didn't listen to that. They still went over family and friends' house or whatever. But I know some of our clients just talked about, urges with their counselors and all this other stuff. People probably just wanted to use it more. Yeah. And those guys who were selling had it readily available because they saw the potential. They saw the money they could make. Like, people are locked up in their houses. They ain't got nothing to do. What else are they going to do but get high all day? So they were there and ready and willing to sell it, and so these people are willing to buy it. It's hard being locked up in your house by yourself, or even if you get to see people once in a while, it's still hard because you're trying to not catch COVID and all this other stuff. So yeah, it did a number on people, I'm sure.
Yeah, but, and 12% increase is a lot.
Yeah, especially given that we're only talking about Baltimore City.
Yeah, but I feel like that's little.
I don't, just because like if we were talking about the whole United States and 330 million people, I'd be like, yeah. But because we're only talking about Baltimore City and like a few 100,000 people, it's 12% is a lot. But you know, again, it is what it is. Like you said, I don't think they can necessarily fault her. Because I don't know if the increase had anything to do directly with whatever. I didn't even know she did this program, but whatever she was trying to do, I don't know if we can directly link that to increases. I think it would be way more likely that the pandemic affected these people.
But yeah, and I agree with that. But the thing is that her war on drug users, yes, a certain amount of people. How many were arrested? Let's say 15,000 drug users are arrested. I'm gonna say 1,500. 1,500. Instead of keeping them in prison, put them in a rehab.
Right. I just read about that. Finland, right? Isn't Finland the ones? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't Finland.
But yeah. But anyway, that's what they were doing.
And that was our plan with parole and probation and everything in 2017 with Hogan. Release the low-level, non-violent offenders, send them to rehab.
Yeah.
And based on the amount of time they have to do if they violate their conditions of probation, you take time off from there. They have to meet with their counselor every week. If they have to go inpatient, they have to actually do the inpatient thing. Where is this place? Not Hagerstown. First you go to Hagerstown. Was it Mountain Manor? You go to Hagerstown, you get evaluated. They send a bus to take you further east of Maryland.
East is the water then.
Oh, okay,
west?
no. So west.
Yeah.
But they come pick you up. You do 28 days, no electronic devices. You go there for 28 days, and after the 28 days, when you've so-called clean, they move you into a rehab in the city.
Yeah, what do they call them? Halfway houses?
Halfway houses. But the problem is with that, I feel as though
they're all in areas where people are outside doing drugs.
Exactly.
I've seen one. So I've seen where my aunt was at, and I'm like, really, here? Like, I'm like, okay.
I'm thinking of one in particular right now.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there, and they're bringing them back into it. And that's not helping things.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And that's why I felt when you and I went to that training where, and I don't remember the organization's name, but about the Narcan, you know, and setting up these places. They only had one so far, and I think that was on Penn and North, but people can go in there and kind of use, and if they, to me, it's a little bit enabling. And
that's what I said in the beginning.
And that just, to me, sets a dangerous precedent, because you're like, yeah, I mean, we know you're using this harsh drugs, and you're probably stealing from people and affecting your kids' life and all this other stuff, but come in here in this tent, use to your heart's desire. If you OD, it's cool. We got Narcan, and it's just
and
like, really, like, where's the line?
Remember, she was there. Marilyn Mosby was there at that meeting.
Oh, I don't remember.
She was at the panel, and that was my whole point. Is like, okay, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You sit there and say, okay, let's find options for these people. Yes, you're doing drugs. We give you a safe space because there's Narcan, but you only got one spot. Yeah. So you mean to tell me the people from Dundalk they use have to make it all the way down to North and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Or just risk, you know, whatever may happen. And I think I ended up talking with somebody about that, and they said that as time was going to go on, they'd have more spots. And so that was what, in 2019? So maybe by now, 18 or 19. Yeah. So maybe by now they have way more spots. But yeah,
I've never seen them.
Right, me neither. But yeah, as far as Marilyn Mosby, I mean, I haven't read as much about her. The only one good thing I know that she's done is getting some of the low-level offenders out. I don't know
low-level
much
non-violent offenders.
Yeah, I don't know much about her before that to have an opinion.
Yeah.
But all I can say is the stuff that's been in there lately doesn't look good for her or
Not
her
at
husband.
all.
It looks sneaky.
And he is the city council president.
Yeah. After Brandon became mayor. So, and it just seems sneaky. It seems a little weird. But if they have explanations for it all, then
I mean, she's been an attorney forever. So it was like,
so they buy these houses and do all this stuff. If it's
but
all
I don't
legit,
want it to be like how O'Malley and Sheila Dixon. O'Malley didn't like what Sheila was doing, so things happen. We're going to go in deeper next time maybe about Sheila, but you know, that's my heart. Love you. But I'm just sick and tired. From what I've seen of Marilyn Mosby, she's done a lot of positive things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
She's
know.
done a lot of positive things. She's not from Baltimore City, but I've run into her and met her.
Her husband's one from around here, right?
Yeah, I've met her. We've done the yaya thing, whereas though we were giving out broke
I
it.
hate paper frills.
I know. We've given out, school supplies. She's come and supported that.
I've seen on a lot of panels and things that we've gone to. That's
Yeah,
about it.
she's done a lot of things. Like, she's actually done a lot of things, but the thing is, the bad outweighs the good.
Yeah, and it always will. And it's the same vein as guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You should have heard my son try to say that.
Yeah, I heard you talking a little bit to him yesterday about that. But at any rate, guys, we do have to shut it on down. There's a lot of nonsense going on around here. I just saw your article you sent about the facial recognition.
That's
cops will
one
be able
over
to
there.
use it. Nobody else. The cops.
No.
Is that what it's saying?
No.
Oh.
They can't use it against us.
Oh. That's what I thought I heard before. But okay, that's cool.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't work for us anyway.
No.
We're of a darker hue, so it doesn't exactly work for us. And I still have problems trying to get the water faucet to work at like movie theaters and stuff. I'm like, is it my skin tone? Do you not recognize it? Like, I need water. Well, there was an article. A guy said that. He said it wasn't like he realized that skin tone has something to do with it. Like, it just wouldn't recognize. I guess the programming of it, they don't program it to recognize
all skin tone.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and I've heard other stories about that too. So it is a thing. but at any rate, guys, we thank you for joining us on this
Thank you.
Saturday. Again, this is She's the Boss Radio. It's a
I
24-hour,
hold
7-day.
Hold up, I'm gonna have to stop you. I love your shirt. Can you
Thanks.
tell me where you got that shirt from?
D Mecca, who's not listening, so that's why I ain't saying nothing.
No, but I still wanted you to say it.
Anyway, so we're on She's the Boss Radio,
ain't get one.
24-hour, 7-day a week, focused on topics to build, strength, and inspire as well as motivate men, women, and youth from the home to the conference room. Again, I'm Sigourney, and that's Moran, and we're Deplorable Rhetoric. You can find us on Facebook at Deplorable Rhetoric, Instagram at Deplorable_Rhetoric, and Twitter at We Rant 2 Rave, the number 2. And you can find She's the Boss Radio on She'sTheBossRadio.com. Click the V Lounge tab. You can tell Alexa or Siri play She's the Boss Radio. We're on TuneIn and Shoutcast. She's the Boss Radio on Facebook. She's the Boss Radio. That's without the O on Twitter. WSTBRN on IG and WSTBR on Twitch and Tumblr. Happy Juneteenth again, and please join us next Saturday for more news and events.
Who tryna go? Who gon' drop it down like it's money on the floor? Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring the home girl and run it? She my spicy little mama. She let me bust a pinata. I buy her all the designer, but she's still leaving tomorrow. Hey. Who tryna go? Who your hope that she don't? Who tryna slide for the night? Who tryna weapon eye? Know my name, say my name. Yellow diamonds on my chain, lemonade. I can never be your main, but tell your main you gon' have to call him back another time. Girl, let's get high and vibe, go up, get loud, get right here and now. Yeah, tell me who tryna go? Who gon' drop it down like it's money on the floor? Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring the home girl and run it? She my spicy little mama. She let me bust a pinata. I buy her all the designer, but she's still leaving tomorrow.
She tryna pull my pants down. I was lighting up a star, got my break time. Told her, babe, I gotta meet her over FaceTime. She don't care, my little mama never waste time. Gotta get your flight real quick. Praying in the fucking lipstick. She look at me like what I think. She bad, crazy with it like it like this. Shawty so bad, man, shawty so cold. Wanna go out, 25 years old. Met her in the club, they were playing psycho. Now we met JP's and they all rose gold. And we both can agree. Oh, she ride it.
Tell me who tryna go? on the floor. Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring her home, girl, and run it? She my spicy little mama.